Welcome back folks and welcome back. Today we're going to go through all of the news we got after the release of Oblivion Remaster, including problems with the new update for Game Pass users, sales, player numbers in general, including some prospects for Bethesda to think about these sort of remasters in the future for their other titles. First bit of information though is about the recent update for the game on Game Pass, as it removed the option in the UI to change the upscaling settings, which includes DLSS, XeSS and FSR. This resulted in some players reporting worse performance, as usually with these sort of games, especially these days in Unreal Engine 5, they rely a lot on frame generation like DLSS and FSR to basically stabilize the frame rate and increase it. Now Bethesda support came out with an article saying this. The hotfix pushed live on April 25th, 2025 was for a few backend tweaks and nothing directly impacting gameplay, but we've seen it affected some Microsoft Store players' UI settings for graphical settings, specifically related to upscaling and anti-aliasing. Any graphic settings adjusted prior to the Microsoft Store hotfix are still enabled and function normally. However, you won't be able to adjust these settings due to the issues with the settings UI. The team is taking a look and working out a solution. It seems we will share more info as soon as we can. So as it seems, the main problem is that the UI doesn't show these options, but if you actually had them set to certain settings, they should stay the same. Now I went to check it out and it seems so far at least my frame rate is as it was originally, so it seems that the setting is still on. But as you can see in the settings themselves, you cannot change this option as UI won't recognize it. This actually does suck a bit as people are getting into the weekend to play the game, although there is a way to edit the ini file to enable that regardless if it shows up in the menu or not. For all of you who cannot wait to see the actual hotfix for this, I left a solution in the description of this video. But as the Reddit user posted, you have to go into your documents, then My Games, Oblivion Remastered, Saved, Config, and WinGDK, and then uncheck read only if you have to uncheck it. After that you open up your engine.ini file, and at the end of the file you paste the settings, save the file and start the game. And you don't have to worry about breaking anything because, well, these are settings folders, but if anything does happen you can just simply just delete that and, save the file as it was. Now I'm sure that the hotfix for this patch is coming soon. Luckily this wasn't pushed to other platforms, which would have a bigger effect. In the other news, the second problem some have brought up, and I've seen people actually post about this, is with saves, as it seems for some users on PC and Xbox they are disappearing. Personally, at least on PC, I haven't experienced this issue. As far as Xbox goes, I cannot check, so you can actually let me know down below in the comments if you experienced this problem. The fix for this is to straight up upload your saves to a cloud or just keep them somewhere safe in case it happens, so you can actually have a backup. Going over to the more positive news, Bethesda reported yesterday that Oblivion Remastered was played by 4 million people since release, which is an impressive number across all platforms, which include sales and platforms like Game Pass, where you count in as a player rather than a sale in that sense. With the weekend here, I expect more people to get into the game. Judging from the Steam sales estimates, at least it's from 600k to 1.47 million owners. Although these are just estimations and until some time passes, it's in this range, but we cannot determine the exact breakdown of these sales, especially since other platforms and consoles don't really share this information in this way. It does seem that this collaboration between Virtus and Bethesda, where they combine the logic of Creation Engine, or well, the code of the specific game with Unreal Engine 5, works, as people are now requesting even more remasters like these for Fallout 3, Morrowind and so on. I mean, personally, having something like this but with Fallout 3 would be nice, because keeping the stuff that made it good and solving some of the issues, it had actually works. Now in the case of Oblivion, it's funny that they left in a bunch of stuff from the original game, like that one character where VA asks for another take. Yes, that is actually in the remaster. Remaster. And something like this is possible for only a few games, which, includes Oblivion, because these situations and technically bugs or problems over the years became a part of it and people embraced it. That's why I think that Fallout 3 in this segment could work, as, even sales-wise, which is important for Bethesda and Xbox, it would do well, as Fallout 3 is another one of those classic titles by this point. Speaking of Skyblivion, which is basically a new mod which is going to take everything from Oblivion and place it into a Skyrim engine, or well, the creation engine which Skyrim was actually made in. So it's still on track, and I don't know about you, but I'm very eager to get into it, especially because of all of the work modders are actually doing, and I think it might offer a somewhat different experience, so I urge everyone to try it out when it's released. A very positive aspect of all of this is that Bethesda could have shut down the project, although, to be honest, Bethesda was always more lenient towards modders, as mods make up a huge part and culture of their games, especially Elder Scrolls and Fallout. So they gave the entire team a copy of the game. I mean, I just hope that more companies in general start embracing mods more and don't think about user-created or generated content as a threat, but rather a sign of an active and passionate audience. I mean, if they didn't like it, I'm sure they wouldn't spend their time to make mods for it. Even, let's say, if they're modding a game which has issues, they're modding it to fix it because they want to play it. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing for more. I'm working on the beginner's guide video to Oblivion for all of the new players. It should come out tomorrow. But if you want to stay updated with the community, then join us on Twitter and Discord. And as always, huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. This is LKM signing out, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye.